tonight we're going to just maybe raise a few questions that it would be nice to get some thoughts on from the panel, maybe some folks from the audience as well, and see where we can kind of take a few of these questions. Is everybody ready to get started?
Yep.
All right.
I guess.
So let me just quickly introduce everyone who's up here in case, I have a feeling, oh, y'all know who these guys are, but for formality's sake. And we have Nadia Funk Forever here. Then we have Erin Friel. We have Emma Reddy. And then Shelltoe on the end. I'm Delaina, by the way. This is my first time moderating. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start out with some easy questions. First one's going to be, how and where can we provide platforms for women in hip-hop? Nice, easy one. Does anyone want to get started?
Well, hi. Should you let me near a mic? How and where do we provide places for women in hip hop? Basically, we need to do that ourselves. Like this event here, because a lot of the time you'll be forgotten about, I'm afraid. Don't want to start off negative, but it would be good to if you're not invited to things, do your own thing, basically. That's I'm not very good at speaking, that's why I dance. But
Mel, can I back you on that one?
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful that question came up first, since Mel and Nadia have put so much fucking effort and work into actually putting this thing together, and it's beautiful to see so many faces out as well, because I've not been out in a wee while, so it's good to be out, it's good to see people, even though I can't really see you because of the lights, but I think it's like our motivation to be able to keep going and provide stuff. Like, I've not done stuff in a while, but as soon as Mel got on the phone and says, do you want to be involved in this? I was like, of course I fucking do. Especially with other people just as like yourselves, all kind of musically minded, we're all hip hop minded, we're all here for the same thing. We all want to be part of the community, we want to build the community, and so thanks for being a part of it.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I think if nothing's coming your way, you have to do your own thing. So I've done that as well. I spent a lot of time in Edinburgh. I used to run a community interest company that dealt with hip hop education. And my friend Lottie and I put on the first and still only B-Girl battle in Scotland that's ever happened.
Queen 16 was that? Yeah. Yep, that was great.
Yeah, it was really good. We did it in Ocean Terminal in Leith in Edinburgh. It was a really cool venue. But yeah, so I think that's well, there aren't very many B-Girls. I'm a B-Girl and a breakdancer in Scotland. So there have been, over time, people come but people leave. So it's been quite difficult to build up like a scene of B-Girls and keep it going. So it was really cool to have B-Girls from all over the UK come up to Scotland for the battle. And then the winner got to go to Germany to compete in the final. So we provided an opportunity for the winner to travel, which was super cool. But something that I always think is really important is that we need to have women in positions of power on the scene. So like this, on panels, judging, DJing, hosting.
Yeah, I'll sorry second that, because you get the token one, the token female, like there was an event, I'm not going to name it, but it was a Scottish event, and out of the 23 guys that were in the showcase, there was one female. In this day and age, that's not cool, it's going backwards instead of forwards. And I don't know if it's worth up in Scotland, would you think? I don't know really, can I say?
Like, from my point of view, it's like, I teach mostly in the community, like from where I'm from, Dumbarton, and I've been teaching kids for like 10 years in my area, and a big part for me is like trying to inspire like young people especially females, and showing them like, this is what you can do if you practice, and if you want to learn, here's the information, and you can train, and like what you can do, sort of thing. And I think like my first hip hop dance teacher was actually Mel, so which was a long time ago that I met her. But so she's been a big inspiration for me personally, like in the last few years, just to keep going and like keep motivated. Like Erin was saying as well, it's good that you've got a kind of community around you and to inspire each other to keep moving forward with it and not be disheartened by not getting invited to judge certain events or perform at certain events and things because maybe you've been forgotten about. Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, it's like I've totally lost my train of thought. That'll be forgive my age. I'm the oldest person here. It'll come back to me. Nadia, what was I saying? Rewind.
Sorry, another thing I think that's important is documenting the scene, as Mel is a great documenter. But personally, I've been to so many events over the years that I've been breaking, which is like 25 years now, and you would never know that I was there from the recap video or the photos that are posted online, because whoever is the photographer or the videographer, they're not looking at the women, they're looking at the men. So I think having photographers and videographers who are either women or guys who can see women in the room is really important, because otherwise we're just erased from the history.
I think I'm going to jump in here, even though I'm supposed to just be manning this ship, because I found that for a radio program, which I've been doing now for 3 years in Sunny G, for me, addressing sort of an imbalance, if you like, has become literally at the heart of every show that I do, and that is the gender inequality, generally on radio. If you look at statistics, just not even in hip-hop, but like across every genre, on every commercial radio station in the UK, I mean, it is fucking appalling, like how many female artists get played versus collabs or male artists. And so the one thing I know that I can control for 2 hours every month is how many women get played on that show. And for me, it's about opening up the tiny little space that I have and welcoming in as many folks as I can. And for me, sometimes it's about just making it equal, or trying to be as equal as possible, and not forgetting that there are whole heaps of women that can be played, or spoken about, or events that can be promoted, or things like that. And I realize that I've got people who listen for 2 hours every month, and what is it that I'm going to do with that time, and being really deliberate about that. Every single show is gender balanced. It wouldn't go out without it. I couldn't stomach it, you know. So I suppose for me, it's about taking the little bit that I've got and making sure that it is open to as many people as possible. And that occasionally I say that too, because I know that in my heart and my mind, that's what's going on. But every once in a while I have to be like, hey guys, so this is what I do here. And just bringing that back to the focus. And every month, like I sort of get a little bit renewed in that sort of way, just to sometimes have it wiped away soon afterward. But, you know, it's a progress, isn't it? Let's move on to the next question, actually. I'm just mindful of the time here. So, another easy question.
That was the easy.
That was the warm-up, guys. So, how can we implement, I mean, this is off the back of that one, I think more generally we're speaking here. How can we implement equality and diversity in the Scottish hip-hop culture in particular? So not just women, but I suppose everyone. What are your thoughts, guys? No takers? All right.
I'll take it, man. So I work in a college, in Kelvin College in Springburn in Easterhouse. Predominantly in Easterhouse we put on a music night on a Wednesday for anybody. Doesn't need to be necessarily from Easterhouse. If you're between the ages of 12 and 18, you can come through. I broke the rules because people that we've worked with in the past who are now grown they don't fit our age remit, which is fucking mental.
That's another thing, ageism, but never like.
Like, we're supposed to be for everybody, we're a community college. I don't care, sorry Kelvin. But we're supposed to be for everybody, like it's inclusive, no exclusive. So like that, me being a part of that, even though I'm not doing loads of stuff in the music industry right now, behind the scenes I'm working with young people, boys and lassies, from the very seed of it, and getting them ideas, not necessarily always hip hop, but the key is music, and if you're doing music and if you're involved in the community, then you're involved with working with other young people from different areas, with different genres, with different interests, with different likes of music, then we can all combine and work in the same network to become better and just better to each other and give other people the opportunity. And maybe these young people will put on gigs, they're going to be involved in gigs, and then they can tell that to their pals and they can get it together and be ambassadors the next time because they're older now, and they can tell the young people, this is what we've done with this group, so you can come and do this too, and you can have the opportunity, we'll give you the opportunity to stand up and do a performance or be in the background doing the sound or doing dancing or whatever you want to do. So I think that's important. I don't know if I've answered that question or no, but I try my best. Funny how everybody gets shy,
Just got too many things to say and can't think which one to say first. Like, I obviously work with a lot of young people as well, and like my classes are very inclusive. I basically open it out to all to come along, like there's from age 3 up to 12 or something like that. But like for me, like a lot of dance schools and things like that will be advertising hip hop dance classes, and quite often you'll see like boys hip hop, and then you're like, what's the difference between a boys hip hop class and a girls hip hop class? Like for me, and that's kind of ingrained in Scottish culture because it's like the dance schools sort of thing. So for me, it's like people message me sometimes saying, oh, is this the dance class for boys to come to as well? Because quite often it'll just be wee girls that go to a dance class, but I'm like, yeah. And actually quite often it's like quite evenly split in my classes between boys versus girls. So yeah, don't think I'm getting this.
Yeah. Related to that, I think over the years I've lost a lot of work teaching because of that, because dance schools or councils think that to get boys interested in dance, they'll use breaking because it's an athletic, exciting dance, but they think in order to get boys interested they need to have a male teacher. So it just goes back to that, you know, women can only be role models for girls and other women, but men can be role models for everybody. Does my head in.
My days, because of the age I am now, my days of teaching the young ones are past. And now, but I say ageism, I say, you may laugh when I say that, but I'm serious in it, because just because you're a certain age, like something that you've loved your whole life, that you shouldn't be erased because you reach a certain age. And there's still people, like in the Female Funk Fruition, I would say we kind of started that thing. Well, I thought it would be sort of younger ones that might come, but the youth them, no. It's been amazing, the group of people that have come along, and it's such a good vibe and such a wide variety of people, equality and diversity and effect, basically, I would say. Big up the Female Funk Fruition people. Your funk eras.
Right, I feel like we've explored that one thoroughly.
Delaina got pulled along.
Moving along. Right, so the next one, I've got my wee list. I should put my specs on. Hopefully that's wide around my head. Right, another light question. What can we do to implement anti-racism practice within, let's say, Scottish hip-hop? Let's be particular about it.
Hip hop is anti-racism. Like, it is fucking,
Yeah.
So it's mad that the question even comes up. Do you know what I mean? Like, hip hop is a movement to fucking stop shit like that happening, and it gives people like me a chance to come and be myself, no matter what colour, creed, no matter what team I support, no matter what scheme I'm for, or country. So it's madness that we need to like fight against that. Do you know what I mean? And we've been fighting for 50 years. Like, even though I've not been about the whole 50 years, that's the message, that's the point. But I think just in my personal work, so like working with young people, giving them a chance to write bars, even if it's just for one session or two, or they come back and they write a whole tune, or they write more tunes and they want to perform them, like that's the beauty of it. Like, again, just anybody, no, there shouldn't be fucking diverse, like, divisions anymore, like in every aspect of life, you know what I mean? Not just in music, not just in hip hop, like just in general, like walking past somebody in the street shouldn't be like such a big barrier, you know what I mean? We need to get on that and be together and have more events with more diverse people, like the day again, you know what I mean? Like, it's mental, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for different cultures and different people, different races, so we should just get on, innit? I come with a few fucking rose-tinted glasses, but that's as easy as it is, and that's how simple it should fucking be, innit?
I think it's really important when you're teaching or sharing your knowledge about hip-hop culture to let people who are new to the scene, let them know about the history and the roots of hip-hop, where it came from, and that it was, you know, it's a black culture, and breaking also started by Puerto Ricans. So it's really important to acknowledge that and to let people know about that, because Scotland's a very white country, and the breaking scene is majority white. So then a lot of people who are teaching, if you're not teaching the history, then new people who are coming into the scene might not be aware that this is from New York, and it's from black culture and from Latino culture. So it's important to spread that knowledge. And also just to be on the lookout and to call out any bad behaviour, any racism, sexism, homophobia at events, not to tolerate it, and not to reward bad behaviour. You know, if you need to ban people from your events, even if they're the best artist on the scene, to set an example for the younger people who are coming up. That's the kind of thing that we need to do. So yeah, I think everyone can be working to make things better.
You took the words out of my mouth, Emma.
And mine.
I suppose, does anybody else feel like they've got imposter syndrome sometimes? Like, I'm painfully aware that I am a white girl from suburban America. And then while I grew up in the shadow of New York in the late 90s and, you know, sort of during the 90s, like, without being in New York, I couldn't be any closer to it, you know? But yet I still feel like I'm a white, gay, suburban woman. What the fuck do I know about hip hop? Do you know? Like, none of those things should add up to sort of where I am at the moment, yet here I am. And if there's anything that does resonate with me, like in my heart and in my core, it is hip hop. But I still, all these years later, am painfully aware that that's what I bring to the table. And I'm just wondering, does anybody else feel like that sometimes? Is it just me?
Like, because my career is basically like passing on hip hop knowledge, like hip hop dance knowledge, sometimes I worry a wee bit, like, I didn't live through that era. I'm from Scotland, I'm not from America. I don't like to feel like I'm stealing from culture and passing it on, sort of thing. So I'm always, like, as Emma was saying, like, pay respects to the black and brown cultures, that the roots of it, and basically the music. And I'm always making sure that I play that type of music in the class and so on. And I think the issue is a wee bit, like, people that are passing on hip hop dance knowledge they haven't always been taught by the pioneers from America and things.
Exactly.
So it's, yeah, you can continue from there if you want.
Yeah, I think we've all done a lot of travelling and taken workshops from the pioneers of the dance styles that we're practicing. So I think we've done a lot of work to discover, I think maybe just what it is that connects us to it, and how we can explain that to other people to try and share that feeling. So I think as long as you're paying respect to where it came from and keeping up with the cultures and the traditions, not all of them, like the good ones, but there's some bad behaviour in the past that we can hopefully leave behind in the future of hip hop. But yeah, I just think do your homework, always be a student, each one teach one. All these hip hop phrases that are so common because they make so much sense.
Yeah, I just don't want to be the negative Nancy, but I probably am. Just some things that go in the name of hip hop is crazy. I don't know what to say. My name is Mel and I'm just glad to be in the show. No, forgive me a minute, I'll come back.
Right, so we've got about 5 minutes or so left for the chat. I didn't know if it was worth asking anybody in the audience if you have any comments, questions for anybody. Yes, at the back.
I have a question. Out of the 5 elements of hip hop, what's the difference for women trying to break through all of it? So compared to dancing and graffiti and community work. So if you had to talk about the 5 elements of hip hop, what's the one that's most difficult for women to break through?
Can I answer that? I would say probably, well, I would think graph. The reason being, like, I would have, like, that was actually what I was going to say earlier on. When I was younger, I would have loved the opportunity to learn graph, but because there was no internet and what have you around, I didn't learn that. I did learn other elements, flow freaks and what have you. I learned breaking, but I really would have loved to have learned graph. Now, that's why it's important right up here that girls, I say girls, women, females, whatever, are welcomed into the environment to learn, because there's opportunities there. Because see some of the artists that were at Yardworks, they were incredible, and there's opportunities there. But I'd say, like, I would think it'd be hard to get into graph. You want to go into a space where it's kind of welcome, So that's what I kind of think. And like DJing, like it was like back in the day. Like, I don't want to talk about like back in the day all the time, but like when you went to the record shop, it was quite 23rd Precinct. It was quite intimidating. But now there's no even records shops, so you don't have that problem. But DJing up here, like I was just lucky that someone showed me Donley. They showed me a wee 1, 2, 3. But it's like, but you can learn it online and that, DJing, whatever. Yeah. And up here, like me again, sorry. The MCing. It's coming out. Up here is incredible. Erin, we've got Erin, Empress, Sweet Rogue, amazing women. Well, I'm trying, I'm late in the game, but that just let that be an example that never give up. It's never too late.
For sure, man. Like 100%. It's never too late. There's a shining example of it. And I think now that you're spitting bars, it's meant to be. Do you know what I mean? You've been in the scene for so fucking long. You've seen the scene for so long.
that was
Lived it, breathed it, experienced it.
That was the thing though, like I would have loved to have, like no one showed me when I was younger, so I never got the chance like, to do it, you know, until like later. It was with through Donna and Becky, Wallace, the writing workshop, you know, and then through there and Johnny Cypher and that getting me, and the next thing I just kind of fell into it, so better late than never, you know, but
So,
never give up.
So, from my experience, I was quite lucky. When I fell into hip hop, it was like, it was there for me, you know what I mean? There was a workshop happening in my area, even though I didn't really necessarily know what I was getting involved with. I knew it was going to be something good anyway. I liked hip hop and I thought I'd go and give it a shot. And that was Louis, man, for Hector Berserk. Respect,
I got Louis, man.
and I was lucky enough to meet Louis and then be able to write tunes and express myself using hip hop, man. I loved it anyway, so it was good. And I started off with an American accent. Like
Were you talking about your gun?
we had to get back tomorrow and tell Louis my bars, you know what I mean? And it was like, where are your favourite? Do you know what I mean? It's good though. So I been usually an accent and then we got somewhere. That was cool, man. So I think like the beauty of that and the accessibility of that as well, like literally 20 yards from my house, and I was able to do hip hop. There was hip hop dancing, there was a bit of graph involved as well, and that was community organisations like Devil Arts that provided that. There needs to be so much more of that on the ground and available to young people to get involved so they know what hip hop is and they know the story of hip hop. So we need men of that in our communities and men represent.
I just want to big up on that note, Sonny Govan Radio for all the community work and for the amazing event tomorrow, because they are doing it, putting it on for the 50th anniversary of hip hop, and it's so good that Glasgow and Scotland is having a celebration where everyone else is. So big up Sonny Govan for all the community work, and Delaina and
everybody. That's time for this, but I'm just going to jump on the back of that. Thanks for raising that. So if Phil don't know, tomorrow, Queen's Park Arena, Sonny G are doing an all-day celebration of hip-hop's 50th, but particularly a celebration of Scotland's contribution to the community and culture. We're outrageously proud that this is a national event. We have people coming from all over Scotland. We've got folks coming down from Dundee, from Aberdeen, coming through from Fife, Edinburgh, Dunbar, Glasgow.
And Roshi from Holland.
Exactly.
Over there. Big up Roshi! That workshop, Female Funk Collective.
Exactly.
International.
So, if for whatever reason you haven't heard about this yet, then do come down. It's going to be from 12 till 10:30 in the evening, and it's going to be an absolute extravaganza of performances, of live graffiti happening, of we've got dance battles happening. We've got DJs getting up to do their things. So we've got Crash Lotta who's going to play jazz, and then a whole host of MCs and producers who are going to get up on stage, as well as I think there's going to be some. The Beat Elle and Undefined are coming from. And Big Taj will be there from Beatbox Scotland. So. Lots and lots of familiar faces, and maybe even some that you've never met before. So, come on down. It's free. Free. There's literally no excuse. But
and also, can I just plug in the morning if you're up and early? I highly recommend that if you want to come along and do the workshop with Roshi, it's going to be. We've just done the workshop before this panel discussion. It was amazing. But he's doing another workshop tomorrow at 11 o'clock, and it's. The Arc Studios in Rutherglen, so that's another thing if you fancy coming and getting your lock on. Yeah, you want to come on. You know you want to. Don't be lazy.
So thank you very much for sitting very patiently. Pleasure to have you here. But I think that's probably enough talk for now. So thank you very much to everybody for participating. Shall we get to some tunes?
Yeah! Let's party!